And I tell you now a story from Chavadia that he said on Kaf Aleph Adar. Why am I telling you Kaf Aleph Adar, 21 Adar? Because that was when his mother's yortzeit was. And one time his gabbai came in and he said to him, today's my mother's yortzeit. He was learning, obviously he was learning extra strong, always. He says this is going to be the Rishpat, his mother. And he said the following story about the Ridbaz. What happened in Ridbaz? Listen to the story. It's a famous story, awesome story. Remember this, unbelievable. Ridbaz. You ready? Like this. Ridbaz, one time, it was his mother's yortzeit, 50th year, his mother's yortzeit. And that morning when he was about to go to shul, he sees like snowing like you can't imagine. Snowing. So he's like, how could he even get out? Like, what's going to be? He says, and even if he goes to shul, who knows if there's going to even be a minyan. But he said, you know what? Doesn't make a difference. I'm going to go, I'm going to try, I'm going to do my part. He goes to the shul. He sees that he is the 10th. He's the 10th person in the shul. He's the 10th guy. He's like, what? Couldn't believe it. The Ridbaz became finishing the minyan. Wow, I couldn't believe it. He said the Kaddish of his mother, and as he's saying the Kaddish of his mother, he couldn't finish. He was crying bitter tears. So the Kahal, one of the Rabbi, Kavod Arav, I don't understand. What's this tears? What's going on? He says, today's my mother's yortzeit. I said, so what? What year? He says, it's the 50th year. 50th year out of yortzeit, and you're crying now? Like, what happened? This is what he says. Listen to this. Amazing. He said when he was a little boy, he had a Rebbe to teach him one-on-one. He had a Rebbe teaching him one-on-one. And he would pay the Rebbe. His father would pay the Rebbe. So one year, 3 months, the father, he didn't have parnasah. He was a person that would do, what's it called? He would, back in the day, he didn't have electric, the heating the way you have. Back in the day, what you had? He had an oven. That's the way you heat it up with an oven. So he was that person, his father. And he said there was no business. 1 month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed. The Rebbe that was teaching him tells him, listen, if you don't pay me this month, I have to get a new job. I have to teach a different child. I can't keep on doing this. You have to pay me. So he came home to his wife. He said, I don't know what to do. He says, don't worry, Hashem's going to help. The next day, this is what happens. He goes to shul. The gabbai of the shul, his son was getting married, and he said, you know, I can't get an oven. This is ridiculous. I need an oven. I need to make this happen. My son's getting married. He needs heat. This, that. What should I do? I don't know what to do. So this guy, the Ridbaz, father of the Ridbaz, says, I have a crazy idea. He runs home, goes to his wife. He says, honey, guess what? He says, what? The gabbai's son needs a oven to heat up the house. So his wife said, what? That's the greatest thing. Take our oven and give it to his son. Let's go. So we'll have money to pay the Rebbe. And he said that year was blistering cold. They had no heat. The whole winter they had no heat. They were freezing. They were in blankets. But he took that money and he paid the Rebbe to teach the Ridbaz, the little child, when he was a little child, the Ridbaz. And he took that money, the Ridbaz says, when I was a little boy, I remember that winter I was freezing. I asked my mother, Mom, why is it so cold? He says, because this way was sacrificed so you can learn the Torah. So your Rebbe can teach you Torah. And he says, 50 years later, imagine I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking, wait, it's snowing outside. Should I go? Of course I'm going to go. My mother, I got to go. No matter even if there's one person in the shul, I got to go for my mother. You hear what's going on? Our mothers, what they would do to sacrifice for us to learn Torah. To sacrifice for us to learn Torah. This is our Yiddish mamas. The mothers of Klal Yisrael, what they would do for the child to learn Torah. They would do everything and anything. What does the child need? No, it's Magabe Chinuch. I'll never forget. There was one lady called me up. She's a very religious lady. And she tells me, I never, ever, ever do this, but I'm doing it this time. I said, what? I need this from the rabbi. She wanted me to teach her son. I said, what are you calling? What's going on? It's the emergency. He says, for chinuch, I demand that you teach my son Torah. I was like, wow. It was like beyond that. I was like, wow. This is what the mothers would do for Torah. My child, this is what they do. Nothing to do. You don't remember your mother when you were a little boy, when you missed the bus, she would take you? Atash, do you remember or no? You remember or you don't remember? Yonatan? Joe? I remember me growing up. Billy remembers. I remember by me. I was it. No, Torah, go. I remember my father, Baruch Hashem, Yishtabach Shemo. I remember one time I was preparing a chabura in yeshiva. My dad's awesome. Listen what happened. I would drive from Jersey to Brooklyn. That was the summer. I was driving from Jersey to Brooklyn. And I remember I would be always one driving. And one day my father sees me, I'm wiped out. He says, what happened? I said, this morning I'm giving a habura. Habura is like a intense shiur to the Kolel guys. It was my turn to give it, I'm giving it. I was up basically, I was up pretty late. I was preparing, I remember that night, I was preparing everything, all the, and I had it, and he's like, whoa. He's like, you're giving shiur? He says, you're not driving today. I said, no, Dad, no, I'll drive. He says, you're not driving today, I'm driving today. I said, Dad, what? He says, you need all your energy to give the habura. It's true story. Says you need all. He stopped. Says you're not driving. So why? Says you need all the energy to go out. And guess what? My father came to the Havurah. He came. I told him give me the Havurah at 12. He came 12 o'clock to the yeshiva. Here the Havurah. Sure. Says what our parents would do for us to learn Torah. What our parents would do for us to learn Torah. Have a good day.